Hey guys, so you joined a bass club, you get invited to fish tournaments, now you're officially a co-angler. Give me 7 minutes and I'm going to show you keys to winning, what your job is, and what to expect as a co-angler. Stay with me. Alright guys, so welcome back. Welcome to ADE Fishing. Anthony Douglas, ADE Fishing. If you want to get to my website, adefishing.com, so let's go over it. This is basically a channel for new anglers who are trying to learn a little bit about the game. So we're going to keep coming at you every 2 weeks with some new content. You guys let me know what I'm doing, how I'm doing. Like it if you want to, subscribe if you want to hear more. But business aside, let's get to the good stuff. Basically, what you should expect as a co-angler when you come to a tournament. Let's talk about it. It's real simple. When you get there, depending on what type of tournament you're fishing, be it a TBF, BFL, or an open tournament, they're doing a little differently, but they're all the same. Basically, when you come to an open tournament, you show up the same day. In some cases, it's a 1 day. Sometimes it's a 2-day tournament, but you show up the same day, early in the morning, you fill out your paperwork, you give them your money, you're there, you already know who your boater is, because you guys decided you were going to fish this tournament together anyways. You guys have already discussed strategy, you've already kind of laid everything out, you've already tied your rods, but you're still, you're just getting together and you're doing it. If it's a TBF or a BFL, or one of those types of tournaments where you don't know your boater, they usually have the meeting the day before or the night before, where they will meet, you go over side pots, you go over the rules, the sponsors, and then they'll start passing out boat assignments, and then they'll pass out who your co-angler or boater is. In our case, we're looking at boaters. In their case, they want to know who the co-angler is. And you get a chance to get sidebar with them and powwow on basically, what am I going to need tomorrow? What is the speed we're going? Are we going fast? Are we going slow? Are we going to be garbage fishing and just pounding the shoreline hoping we catch something? Are we fishing a lot of timber? Are we just getting in there? Or are we going to go out and do some deep cranking? Are we going to be dragging jigs over points? And stuff like that. So you're going to go through your strategies. You're going to go through the lures. You're going to go through the speed that you want to fish. But you got to make sure that you have a chance to talk it out with your boater and figure out what's going on. Also, it's also a good time to figure out how much money they want. Yes, you have to contribute to the fund for fuel. Some guys get pissed off about it, but I'm going to be honest with you. If you are on a big impoundment around here in the Washington area, not DC, the state, Banks Lake, 28 miles long. So you're going to be making sometimes making a 28-mile sprint all the way down this lake. So half an hour of your day is burned up before you even know what happened. But you've got to come all the way back. And these gas guzzling monsters just drink it, man. They just sip it like it. They don't sip, they gargle. So yeah, you do have to chip in. You do have to chip in. Unfortunately, for co-anglers, TBF and BFL, you have nothing to say about where the boat goes, what speed we're fishing. You have nothing to say about the angle that your boater comes into a spot at. You'll sometimes notice when you're fishing that your boater will come in and he'll nose in and he'll have all of the best spots and he'll always seem to have you out there in open water. Some guys do that. Most guys don't. You pull into a spot, he'll give you this side of the dock or, something that you can shoot under, or he'll lay out a point and kind of give you the 411 on how you're going to fish the point, and he might hit it first. He might hit that rip-rap wall first as you're going down, but he usually will position the boat so that you can shoot diagonally as well. In most cases, you'll never know until you get out there. But there's some basic things that you need to know that you'll have time to go over with your boater before the tournament. Day of the tournament, show up early. Make sure you show up early. Don't be the guy who everybody's waiting for, because if you have to put, like for the jamboree around here, you're putting 90 boats in the water. You don't want to be held up. They have to do boat checks. They have to do equipment checks. They have to do it all. And you don't want to be the guy they're waiting for, or your boater is waiting for, so that he can get on the water and get prepped. So be there early. Figure out where you're going to meet. Talk about all of that stuff the day before. But the day of the tournament, you show up on the tournament day and you're ready. You've got all your equipment. He pulls up with the boat. Load your stuff. Make sure you bring your lunch. Load your lunch as well. And decide and discuss. Are you going to back the boat into the water? If you're going to back the boat into the water, then you need to be available to do that. Don't volunteer to do something you have absolutely no idea of doing. If you're the guy on the boat launch throwing everybody off their lunch because you're zigzagging and doing a 75-point U-turn, that's not going to work. So be comfortable saying, dude, that's not me. But I'll tell you what I will do. I can pull the boat out. I can pull the truck out and park the truck. But, backing it in is going to be a problem. I can respect that as a boater. And I'm sure most other boaters respect that too. They don't really want their equipment damaged because you don't really know what you're doing. But if that's part of what you're going to do, then make sure you get it done. Get the truck parked. Get back to the boat as fast as you possibly can, so that, hey, when it's time to launch, man, you're ready to go. Get in, put on your life jacket. Don't forget your life jacket. But get in, put on your life jacket, get your gear set up, kind of get a layout on where we're going first. And if you're going to a spot that is a specific technique, start getting those rods ready, putting those rods on top, so that when you get there, you can bounce up and get in the game. The other thing you need to do is be able to communicate with your boater as to whether or not you're going to need a seat. Some people can't stand for 10 hours. Some people want to stand and want the space to be able to move. If you're on a 21-foot boat, you'll notice that rear deck is spacious. If you're on an 18-foot boat, a 17-foot boat, your real estate is limited. So if you're going to be in the back, you just know that. Know that what space you have is all you got. So you may not want to use a chair. You might want to stand all day. Myself, I like to stand. I don't need that darn thing in my way, because it's just in my way. But I've got friends who enjoy sitting down because, knees, we're not as young as we used to be, but your knees are hurting, ankles are hurting, arms hurting, so on and so forth. Once you've gone through all of these things and you're in the boat and you're on the tournament and you're fishing, just make sure you're smart about it. Make sure you're smart about what you do. Don't cast over, the boater's head. And don't do things that are going to give the game a black eye. But go out there, be conscious, be confident in what you're doing, and go to your go-to baits and get out there and use them strong, and use them well. Don't look around. Don't get lost in the minutia. Don't get overwhelmed by the situation. If you have a good day, what it'll feel like is you're fishing with a good friend. That's it. You'll be out there, you'll be fishing, and it just feels like you're fishing with a good friend. Because you're chucking lures, you're catching fish, he's catching fish, he's netting your fish, you're netting his fish, and you're always there for each other. And you communicate as to what you're doing and what you found. And it's something that, we always test ourselves on, is that when you catch a fish, you're caught up in the emotions of the situation, but sometimes you have to stop after it's all said and done and talk through with your boater, or if you're a boater and you talk to your co-angler, you talk through the situation. What speed were you dragging it? Did you feel rocks if you were dragging it? If you're cranking it, did it hit an obstruction, bounce off, and then something hit it? Crank, pause, and then as soon as you started cranking again, it hit the fish hit the lure. You just have to be able to communicate that kind of stuff so that you guys can break the lake down together, and it makes fishing go a lot faster. Try not to copy what your boater's doing. So if he's throwing a crankbait, don't throw the same color crankbait. If you want to work in the same water depth, you can do that. But just switch it up a little bit, because most of these guys that are in the front of the boat are pretty darn good. So they're there to win, and so are you. But they're there to win, and they paid a lot of money to get there, and they're pretty good at what they do. Don't be overwhelmed. Don't be overwhelmed with it. You're there to fish. You are there to compete. And compete is what you should do. So, I hope this helped you guys a little bit. That was probably a little bit more than 7, and we're probably past 7 minutes. But I think that if you just apply yourself and the things that you already know about fishing, and just stay in your lane and stay in your envelope. You don't have to go out there and be anything more than you are. I think you'll enjoy co-angling. So if you guys have any questions, if you have any comments, leave them in the comment section. If you like the video, you like what I'm putting down, definitely let me know. Hit the like button. If you want to see more like this, definitely subscribe. If you want any gear that we have, you can go to adefishinggear.com. And I've got some stuff laid out there that my favorite lures and things like that, and some boating stuff. And if you see something, feel free to scoop it up. Do what you can. But until then, until 2 weeks, I'll see you. Get out there and go fishing and have fun.